So welcome to Boxing Media Hub, proudly in partnership with Falcon Contracting and Jam's Boxing Chat. And do you know what? We're live. Yes, everyone, welcome to Boxing Media Hub. I am here proudly with my brother Jam and our brother all the way from Sweden. We've got Håkan. Lovely to have you on, my friend. And before
Thank you so much.
Your nice trip to Belfast, and while we're on the subject of Belfast, funnily enough, this is our live prediction show for one of the fights on the card. See what I've done there. Here's one I made earlier. So here we go. It's Shauna Browne versus Elif Nur Turhan. Thank you, Jam. See what we've done there. Shauna Browne, 5 fights, 5 wins, 3 knockouts. She was last out in January. God, feels ages ago. Against Taylor Genson, which is the actual pronunciation, because I asked her. And she gets wound up that everyone says Jensen, which she won on split decision, which was a bit, that was pretty much UD, let's be perfectly honest, over 10 rounds. Elif Nur Turhan, 9 fights, 9 wins, 5 knockouts. You're waiting for this, aren't you, you absolute sod, Jam? Her last fight was December 2024, when she was against Usana Korn, Thurwil Sahanawang, which was a win in knockout round 1. And all I have to say is, I think I actually spent most of my time just trying to pronounce her name. That's why I was late. So yeah, it's going to be a cracking fight because Shauna's in it. She brings it every time. I'm going to take this one first, boys, if you don't mind. All I'm going to say is Shauna Browne, for me, and not just because she's a good mate of mine, but her boxing style, she's a come-forward, heavy-handed girl. She's going to be a real tough one to be in the mix with. Don't get me wrong, her opponent's got 5 knockouts out of 9, so she's game. She's a tough one as well. But she hasn't been against anyone the same levels as Shauna. Let's be perfectly honest here. Shauna's raising the bar each time. I think this one is probably on a similar kind of scale to Taylor, if not a little bit more. But I think Shauna's just going to win by stoppage in this one, to be honest. I think she's going to go out. She's going to want to prove a point, especially in Ireland. And this is going to be the push she's going to need towards those titles that she's now got her eyes on. That's the next stop for Shauna. But Håkan, we'll jump to you and we'll end with my brother Jam. How are you seeing this one, Håkan?
I see this is a step up for Shauna Browne, in my opinion, from Taylor Genson fight. Elif Nur Turhan beat Kirsty Hill when Kirsty Hill was 6-1 2 years ago.
Håkan, hasn't she? Kirsty Hill's got a big fight.
Yeah, and he beat Kirsty Hill. She beat Kirsty Hill convincingly. It was for the WBC International Super Feather title. So I think Elif Nur Turhan is a step up from the Taylor Genson fight. And Elif had a fight already signed for April in Germany in super featherweight division. So, but this fight will be eliminator for in the lightweight division.
Yeah, for the WBC, for the WBC lightweight.
Yes, and I believe it's for that she's already WBC international at super feather, that they got the eliminator for the WBC for this fight.
Would that mean she could fight Caroline Dubois next, Hawken, in your opinion? She's the WBC lightweight champion. If Elif Nur wins this or Shauna Browne wins this, could that be Dubois next for these two?
This could be Dubois' next mandatory. But I believe that Dubois will have a voluntary defense before she needs to fight the next mandatory.
Because when we heard from Caroline yesterday, obviously we don't want to go on about Caroline, but obviously when we heard from her yesterday, she's almost like, I take the voluntary defence next, and then I'm moving up. I want the big fights next. She sounded it out yesterday, didn't she? Clearly on the interview yesterday. Check it out, guys. It was cool. And she was chatting about it yesterday, and she said, take the next one, and then off I go. I am on the way to getting those fights. So I put people in a corner so that they've got nowhere to go. It's only those fights that I want. If other people come up to where I am, then I'll fight them. But she believes that she wants that cream of the crop at the top, doesn't she?
Yeah, she wants to beat her.
Yeah, but she can't. If WBC orders mandatory, she has to face the mandatory. So she can't take voluntary defense after voluntary defense.
No.
And unification.
I think it'll get to a point though where she gets to that certain point where it sort of bends the fingers, shall we say, of an opponent to go, well, actually, I've got nowhere else to go here. That's the fights I'm going to want to see. Turki Al-Sheikh is now starting to move on to the women's side of things, and we're going to see some big fights coming that way. And if he's involved, I think it will come with time. But I think if he keeps doing it like he's done with the men's, I think we're going to start seeing those fights. You know, Raven Chapman, Sky Nicholson was a cracker.
It was.
I have to disagree with Turkey and women's fights. I don't have that positive. That I don't think it will be if women fight for a very long time on a Riyadh season card in Saudi.
He'll probably get the quote on at the best. He'll get the quote on because of her name, because it's the quote. He'll probably get one fight just to just to say we've put women's fights on, but for real, they're not really bothering about the women's sport at the moment, but they need to. Imagine Alicia Baumgartner at 135 for a world title in Riyadh. It'd be huge. Americans want to see it, British want to see it, Riyadh would want to see it. Give these ladies a chance and actually put the money behind it, Turkey, and let's see these fights happen. Yeah,
I don't necessarily mean in Saudi. I mean on Riyadh season cards, whether it be in the UK or in the US. I think we're more likely, and the same as you, Hawken, we're more likely to see those fights happen in those places as opposed to Saudi because of obviously how things are in that aspect. But obviously back to this
I agree, and I think it could happen on a ring card event, and the Matchroom wanted to have them on the Conor Benn Chris Eubank Jr. card. They wanted to have Beatriz Ferreira versus Caroline, but Boxer turned down.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if he can put on trash like Eubank Jr. against Conor Benn that nobody really cared about, people are starting to care now because of the egg smashing and whatnot and all the other garbage they go through and all the garbage talk between Eddie Hearn and Ben Shalom and Boxer. Yeah. People now are interested in that fight, but let's be truthful, as a boxing match, it's trash. Eubank is well past his prime. He wasn't that good in his prime. Conor Benn is a known drugs cheat who wasn't that good before, has never fought at even British level. It's a trash fight. The good thing to have on the undercard would be a massive female undercard with some big fights. That would have made this at least watchable.
We saw it with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, other than Aaron McKenna, Liam Smith, that fucking old fight card, mate, is not for me. You know what I mean?
But back to this one before we
back to my prediction, and I will go with even though I believe that Elif Nur Turhan is a step up. I believe that Shauna Browne will dominate and win on a wide unanimous decision.
Well, there you go, Jam. How you seeing this one out?
I'll make it real quick for you guys. I think Shauna Browne, formerly O'Keefe, is just too big, too strong, too good. She is the next queen of Irish boxing. I think she's the next big boxer out of Ireland, man or woman. I think she's going all the way to the top. I think one day we could see a big fight with Caroline Dubois in a unification type fight. I think that's how good she genuinely is after 5 fights. I think she takes care of this girl in real quick time, 6-round knockout. That's me done.
Well, there you go. Hit the subscribe button. Check out the rest of the content. We are going for Shauna Browne. Hawkan's going on points. I'm going for stoppage. Jam's going for stoppage. Let's see how you see this one at home. Are we overlooking this girl totally? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you guys. So as I say, hit the subscribe button and you'll get to see me, Jam and Hawkan that little bit more and probably in your lounge. So as I say, thank you very much for joining us. And Hawkan, you're going to see us out tonight, my friend.
Have some of this.
Have it.